Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you the technique I use to paint shiny fur. This is a shortened version, but if you want the full-length tutorial just go to the link in the description of this video. We're going to be painting this in 2 layers. The first we'll be focusing on the lighting by breaking it up into shadows, midtones and highlights, and in the second layer we'll be adding the fur texture. So we're going to start out by painting in the darkest areas of the fur first. I'm painting black fur, so for the darkest areas of the fur I'm using black paint mixed with a little blue and brown. Keep referring to your reference photo and just block in the darkest areas. Once we have filled in all of the darkest sections, we can start to paint the midtones. These are all of the areas of the fur that aren't the darkest but aren't as bright as the highlights. Even though I call these midtones, we actually want to keep them quite dark in order to keep the contrast between the midtones and the highlights really strong. To finish this first layer, mix up a light grey paint and fill in all of the highlight areas. If you're painting black fur, it helps to add a little blue to the paint to give the impression that the fur is reflecting the sky. This layer will look a bit cartoony, but don't worry about that, as in the next layer we'll blend the colours and add the texture. While this layer is drying, I'm just going to paint in the background and the eye. Now we can start on the second layer. Use a large pointed brush and flick your paintbrush in the direction of the fur. For each section use dark, mid and light tones to help to create some depth. Gently blend the edges of each section so that they are not quite as harsh as in the first layer, but do be careful not to overblend them as it will end up looking less shiny. Continue with this technique to add the fur texture to the whole painting, making sure you focus on the direction of the fur. Once we've done this, there's just one more thing we need to do to make the painting pop and the fur look extra shiny. Finally, we want to increase the contrast by darkening the darkest parts of the shadows and lightening the brightest highlights. Add some water to some white paint to thin it out and add some white fur lines to the brightest areas of the highlights. We can also water down some mid-grey paint and add some more darker fur lines to the highlights to make them look more realistic. Continue to do this until you're happy with how it looks. I hope you like this tutorial showing you the easy way to paint shiny fur. If you want to see more painting tutorials like this, then make sure you subscribe to my channel.